Welcome to another class on ratio and proportion. In today's class, we are going to solve some series of problems under ratio and proportion. Okay, now feel free to pause the video and attempt each question. Then when you are done, play the video to check maybe your answer is correct. That's the best way to learn. Okay, now let's start with the first question. If the ratio x ratio y is equals to 3 ratio 5 and y ratio z is equals to 4 ratio 7, find the ratio x ratio y ratio z. Okay, we are given that x ratio y is equals to 3 ratio 5 and y ratio z is equals to 4 ratio 7. Now we are asked to determine, find x ratio y ratio z. Now please, I want you to pay attention. This is very simple. All we want to do here is to make y uniform. Okay, please pay attention. All we want to do here is to make y uniform. Now look at the first ratio. What is the value of y in the first ratio? The first ratio is x ratio y. Do you understand? Now what is the value of y? The value of y in the first ratio is 5. And now in the second ratio, the value of y is what? 4. Do you understand? Now the value of y is not uniform here. So what we want to do now is to make the value of y, we want it to be uniform. Now how do we do that? To make the value of y uniform in both ratio, that is in the first ratio and the second ratio, we have to multiply the first ratio by the value of y in ratio 2. Please pay attention. This is the second ratio, and this is the first ratio. Okay, now to find x ratio y ratio z, we have to make the value of y uniform in the first ratio and the second ratio. To do this, we have to multiply the first ratio by the value of y in the second ratio, and then we have to multiply the value of y in the first ratio by the second ratio. Do you understand? Now, what is the value of y in the second ratio? The value of y is what? 4. So I'm going to multiply the first ratio by 4. Do you understand? I'm going to multiply the first ratio by 4. Now, the first ratio is 3 ratio 5. That is x ratio y is equal to 3 ratio 5. Now, I want to multiply this ratio by the value of y in the second ratio. The value of y in the second ratio is 4. So I'm going to multiply this ratio by 4. You understand? So this will be multiplied by 4. So I'm going to have x ratio y is equals to 4 multiplied by 3, that is 12. 4 multiplied by 5, that is 20. So now, the next step now is that I will multiply the value of y in the first ratio by the second ratio. Do you understand? The value of y in the first ratio is what? 5. You understand? Now, let us write out the second ratio. The second ratio is y ratio z is equals to 4 ratio 7. Now, I'm going to multiply the value of y in the first ratio by the second ratio. The value of y in the first ratio is what? 5. See, this x belongs to this 3, and this y belongs to this 5. You understand? This y belongs to 4, and this z belongs to 7. Do you understand? So the value of y in the second ratio is what? The value of y in the first ratio is what? 5. So I'm going to have this multiplied by 5. Do you understand? Now, 5 multiplied by 4 is what? 20. 5 multiplied by 7, that is ratio 35. So you can see that now y has been uniform. You can see that y is now uniform. That is, we have the same value of y in the first ratio and the second ratio. Do you understand? Now, x ratio y ratio z now will be, x is what? 12. 12 ratio y now is uniform. Y is 20 in both ratio. Y is 20 in the first ratio and y is 20 in the second ratio. That will be 12 ratios 20. Now z is what? 35. 35. That will be the value of x ratio y ratio z. Do you understand? So that is the solution to the question. If you are given this type of question, this is the best way to go about it. Do you understand? Okay, let's have another work example.
To watch the next class, kindly check the description of this video. You are going to see a link there. Click on that link, or you should check the playlist on this channel. Okay, see you in the next class.